All right, guys. Yesterday we took a little bit of a much-needed day off, a recovery day. I'm back. I'm feeling a little bit better. Today we're going to be doing a video that I've wanted to make for a little bit of time now, especially since we started getting the changes to the Armory, the rotations, the new collections, all that stuff. We're going to be going over all 17 collections and items that have ever been available in the Armory and ranking them in this tier list to say what I think are going to be the best investments from here going forward. But this video, it's going to be a little bit speculative. It's going to be very much opinion based. It's also going to be pretty hard to make, so I definitely want to hear your guys' opinions on all of this stuff as well. I'm definitely going to have some good, some bad, some hot, some freezing cold takes and everything in between in this video today. But of course, first, just wanted to mention my cash trading business. If you guys are looking to sell any of your CS2 items, turn them into cold hard cash, crypto, PayPal, any other payment method, whatever, hit me up over on Twitter. It's going to be the first link in the description below. Also, my Discord is going to be down there. Feel free to join our community or DM me over on Discord as well if that's the best way for you to get in touch with me. Looking to buy anything and everything for the right price, but of course, always trying to get the big deals done. So if you have any expensive skins, gloves, knives, bolt cases, whatever, hit me up. We can hopefully get you cashed out safely, effectively, and efficiently, and maybe you'll be our next big deal today. With that being said, let's get right into this. So like I said, there has been 17 different items, collections, things that have been available in the Armory throughout the history of the Armory. Obviously, some of these are now discontinued. Some of these are brand new. And we're going to be ranking them going forward. We're going to be ranking these in terms of long-term investments from today's prices. One kind of small caveat, obviously, is there is going to be some small differences in the fact that discontinued stuff you can only get for market prices, but stuff that's still in the Armory you can actually get for Armory Star redemptions as well. And I am definitely going to be valuing that, at a premium because Armory, most of the stuff is profitable in the Armory right now, so getting it for Armory Star price is actually going to be a pretty significant discount in many cases. So let's just start out at the bottom. Let's get some of the trash stuff out of the way, some of the stuff that I would never consider or recommend investing in. Obviously, this stuff is going to have varying degrees, but the one that stands out to me the most right away is definitely going to be this XM 1014 Solitude. I know that some people are going to be like, no matter what you say, people are always going to have the devil's advocate. People are always going to be like, oh, this, that, you're going to have the nerd emoji guy, whatever. I get it. The XM, it's a discontinued item. It was a limited edition item. That's good. That's fine. I also get it probably wasn't redeemed in that high of quantities. I haven't exactly looked at what the exact numbers are. I mean, if you really want to, we can pull this up real quick. We can go XM Solitude, and we can see, I don't know, the number's probably not going to be too insane on the float database if this is going to load and pop up. We have 101,000. I don't know. I wouldn't even say that's that small. So again, I thought it would maybe even be less than that. But yeah, it's an XM skin. It's a skin that it looks pretty. I think it's a nice play skin, but I don't really think it's like some insane skin that people are really going to care about that much. Yes, it is pattern based, but honestly, I don't think there's that drastic of a difference between a lot of the patterns. I don't know. I'm staying the heck away from it. It's an item that doesn't have a decreasing quantity or supply. Yes, maybe has some supply constraints, but I also don't think it's going to have enough genuine demand to really carry it forward. I don't know. I don't think there's too much you need to say about this. Also, the next thing, obviously kind of going hand in hand with that, I would definitely put it above it, but not too far above it. Let me see if I can find it here. It's going to be the M4 Solitude. Now, again, I have an M4 Solitude. I'm using an M4 Solitude as a play skin. I think there are honestly some pretty cool patterns of the M4 Solitude, but do I think it's going to be a profitable investment or will ever be a profitable investment or anything like that? No. I think it's a clean skin. I think it's a good looking skin. But again, there's already 482,000 of these things, and it's still active in the Armory right now. And I know some people are going to be like, oh, well, yeah, there's 500,000, but once you remove all the shit patterns, like my rare pattern, there's only, 1,000 or 5,000 or 10,000 or whatever. Like, I don't really care. It's all the same stuff we heard with the Desert Eagle Heat Treated as well, which we're going to get to in a little bit of a second. I don't know. These items, they just get redeemed in way too high of quantities. Again, there's no collection here. You click the button, you get that skin. These skins are printed at very high quantities. And yes, it's a nice play skin. I do think it's a very good play skin. I'm probably going to have it be my M4 play skin for a long time unless I get, random high tier skins here and there from trading or whatever. But I don't consider this an investment. I would never consider this an investment. I'm not going to be buying, a storage unit full of M4 Solitudes or anything like that. It's not even something that I'm considering at all. And to me, that is what kind of an F tier is. So I guess if F tier is going to be the things that I'm not considering at all, there's only two other things that really stand out to me as an F tier. One is going to be the Sugarface 2 collection. Now, I think there is an argument that Sugarface 2 should be a tier above these two because, again, Sugarface 2, it is at least a sticker. It is at least going to be a discontinued sticker collection. With Sugarface 2, once it gets discontinued, you are going to have an item that has a finite and decreasing supply once it gets applied and stuff like that. But to me, this is the worst sticker collection, maybe the worst collection or like item set period we've seen added to the Armory so far. So that just makes me kind of want to put it lower just based on principle of that. I don't think this is going to get very many redemptions, which you could argue makes a good thing. You know, low supply, maybe going to help price appreciation increase. Maybe this will be one of the most freezing takes of this entire tier list. Maybe Sugarface 2 will end up being some amazing investment. And again, just because it's going to be a discontinued sticker collection, maybe on that merit alone, I should put it at D tier. Maybe I want to put it at like D minus F plus tier. I don't know. But again, I think this collection is very, very bad. I think it's going to have very low demand. I think it's going to have very low application rates. I don't think any of the stickers are going to be used in like all that many crafts or anything like that. But again, the fundamentals of the Armory in general, you know, being discontinued item sets and stuff like that. But that's everything in the Armory if, you know, Valve continues on the trend they're on right now. So I don't know. It is better than items. It is better than the Solitudes, in my opinion, to the fact where, you know, a Solitude, you just click it, you get a Solitude, and I don't really think they're all that insane. But it's not that much better. I don't know. I really hate this sticker set. It just kind of triggers me looking at it and talking about it. So that's why I want to put it so low. But to me, the last thing that is going in the F tier, top of the F tier, this is going to be the Desert Eagle Heat Treated. Again, I think when I looked at this, I don't know if I have this pulled up or not, but this is going to be like 700,000 or 800,000 or something like that. It's some crazy, crazy, crazy number. 700,000, 699,000. And again, same thing here. When this came out, people were like, yeah. I mean, one, the Desert Eagle Heat Treated, the most common, if you just clicked redeem on a Desert Eagle Heat Treated, you got a skin that looked pretty disgusting. You got a skin that looked pretty ugly. The bad Desert Eagle Heat Treateds are very, very, very bad. Now, obviously, the blue gems and the ones that are full blue look very good. So there was a lot of people being like, yeah, you know, I'm not investing in regular Desert Eagle Heat Treateds, but the good ones, you know, those are the ones you should be going for, and these stand out. Again, people with, you know, pattern whatever or, you know, the full blue percent or stuff like that, people were saying it was going to be some amazing investment. But I went back and looked, and these prices on pretty much all the Desert Eagle Heat Treateds, even the tier ones, even the number one pattern, whatever, these prices have remained extremely flat since this got removed. And again, this has been removed for a long time. We've had, I don't know, I mean, I would guess around I don't know, 9 months of price appreciation for this or something like that. And during that time, the CS market has just gone straight up. And in that time where you've been holding a Desert Eagle Heat Treated, a tier 1, a pattern 69, whatever, you've been pretty much flat. I mean, some of these are down a couple $100, some of these are up a couple $100, some of these are flat. They have not been a great investment. And I know people are saying, oh, well, this pattern or that pattern, whatever. There is a lot of very, very blue patterns that most people would not really even be able to tell the difference between. The supplies on this thing are just way too high. I think it's a cool item. I think it's a good looking item. I think the blue gems are a skin that I would love to own. But as far as an investment, I just don't really see it. And I don't really see anything that's proved it to be different. I know there was a lot of people that wanted it to be better or wanted to hype it up or whatever, but I just don't think that's going to come to fruition. I think it's going to be better in the Solitudes, and I would invest in these before I invest in the Solitudes, but I haven't invested in Heat Treateds. I can't see myself ever investing in Heat Treateds. Again, it's a skin with a crazy high supply, and at the same time, the blue gem and the pattern, stuff like that, they were already so overhyped and already so overpriced. The price of these are insane. Tier 1 blue gems, at the time that these were removed, were like $1,200, $1,500, whatever. Like, what do we think? Tier 1 blue gems for Heat Treateds are going to be $5,000 5 years from now? Like, no, I don't see that. To me, I'm staying the hell away from Desert Eagle Heat Treated. So now we're getting into the D tier. Now, this also might be a little bit of a controversial pick. I am throwing the graphic design collection, or the graphic collection, whatever, into the D tier. Now, one of the problems that I have with the graphic design collection right now, it is already pumped so high so fast. If we go to CS ROI, you can see the ROIs of the discontinued collection. Now, you might say, how can you have an ROI of a discontinued collection? How can I have an ROI of something I can't even redeem? Well, this is just showing, hypothetically, if you could redeem these right now, what would the ROIs be? And the purpose of this, and what this actually shows us, is how pumped up these are, how much the prices have gone relative to what you could get these things for when they were in the Armory. So right now you will see, out of everything that has ever been in the Armory, now this does not include the gallery case. I'm not sure exactly where the gallery case would fit on this. It's maybe similar, maybe close. I don't know, whatever. But obviously the fundamentals of a case are going to be different than the fundamentals of a collection. So far right now, out of everything that has been discontinued or in the Armory or whatever, the graphic design collection is the highest pumped up stuff. They've seen the most price appreciation. They're the furthest away from their value of the stars that you could have redeemed them for. And to me, that is a bad sign. I think it's going to age pretty poorly. So far, if you bought graphic design while you were in the Armory, or probably even right once they got announced that they were getting discontinued, you've made a killing and it's been going very, very well. And you're like, oh, the graphic design collection is insane, whatever. But I do think over time, we're not going to continue to see these prices rise. We might even see these prices drop. If you buy graphic design at these prices, you might not get a return over the next couple of years on these things, because I do not think there's going to be enough demand in this collection. I know a lot of people are loving the Starcade right now. Starcade is a very, very clean, very, very cool skin. But outside of that, I don't think the CMYK is a good enough red to hold up demand in terms of trade up or just in terms of prices or whatever. Now, again, I get it. This collection is very, very low-ish supply, relatively low supply. It's, less supply than the other collections that we're comparing it to the Armory, like Overpass and Sport and Field and stuff like that. But it's not low supply. And also, you need demand to be a factor as well. So I don't know. I'm staying away from graphic design. I think you're better off. Again, if you want to go for a skin collection that's going to be like less redeemed or more rare or whatever, you have Train 2025 for a fraction of the prices. You can get Train 2025 for 4 stars right now, or you can even buy them from the market for, 129% prices, 29% greater prices than what they would go for in stars. And graphic design right now, you're paying a 249% premium on that. So to me, that doesn't make sense, but I think you're much, much, much better off going for Sport and Field, going for Overpass, sticking with the stuff that actually has genuine demand, going for some of those trade up and filler skins in those collections that are actually going to be traded up to, because people are going to continue to do trade ups for the Fade, for the Be the Monster, and I don't really think there's going to be too many, CMYK trade up chains and stuff like that. I don't think people are going to be eating through this collection as fast. So again, maybe a hot take, but I'm throwing the graphic design collection at the D tier. I think also in the D tier is, for me, going to be some of the other newer collections that I don't really like. I think these Dr. Boom charms are just not really doing it for me. I'm going to put the sugar face down at the bottom here. I'm going to have graphic design at the top of D. So I don't know. Dr. Boom charms, not really my thing. Not really feeling it a ton. I don't really like this charm set. I do like this charm that does have the butane that kind of like fills up and stuff like that. I think those are kind of cool. But overall, I don't really think there's too many that great charms from the Dr. Boom charm set. It's not the first set of charms. Also, you still have those OG charm collections in the Armory right now. So if I was going to be investing in charm collections, why would I go for the Dr. Boom charms when I can literally get Missing Link 1 or Small Arms charms that are going to be discontinued sooner and are probably just better looking and better collections overall? To me, it doesn't really make sense, and there's no real way that I would be going for the Dr. Boom charms right now. And I guess in that same vein, also the Missing Link 2 charms. But for me, I would probably bump up the Missing Link 2 charms to like the C tier, because I think it's just overall a little bit better collection. I think some of the ones are better. I think having the Lil Boo in it just automatically makes it way better. I think Lil Boo is the best item that we've seen from all the new collections in the Armory so far, so I think that's good. I think there's going to be a lot of demand and stuff for that there. I think the Little Serpent is cool. I think most of the red charms in the Missing Link 2 collection are actually pretty cool. And I think for Missing Links, you're looking for those high-end charms and stuff like that, and I think there's some cool opportunities there. But again, still not really like the investments I'm necessarily looking for. I still think there's much, much, much better places to be going. Also in that same vein, I'm going to be throwing the 2025 Community Collection 2 down here at, I don't know, C tier, I guess, D tier, whatever. I think this sticker collection is much better than the Sugarface 2 collection, but I think overall this collection is much, 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 much worse than either the Elemental collection or the Character Craft collection. So I think we're going to see much less applicability and applications and stuff like that. And again, for me and from what I've seen, the most money to be made in sticker sets and discontinued collections and stuff like this is at the cheapest stuff. It's at the lowest rarity stuff. So I want collections that have really, really good, cheap, low, like common stickers, because they're going to have the chance to go up the most over time if they have really, really high applicability rates. And Elemental Craft collection does that, and Character Craft does that. I don't really think either of these two sticker collections does that much. So I can't really see myself investing in them too much. So I don't know, maybe top of D tier, maybe bottom of C tier, but I think it's, something that I'm very, very far away from investing in. Like if I'm putting in the C tier, it's at the bottom. If I'm putting in D tier, it's just kind of in the middle or whatever. But now that we're getting a little bit higher up, we're trying to get into stuff that I would actually invest in, but I am going to be putting the train collection also in the C tier as well. See, train is another thing where I'm going to be staying away from it. Now, again, I would rather right now invest in train than in graphic design because the prices are just a fraction, and I think the fundamentals are pretty the same. Really, these collections are a lot alike. I mean, yeah, you have the Starcade that's, really, really good in the graphic design collection, but I think the Tech 9 whiteout, I think it is, whatever the whiteout skin is in the train collection is also very, very good and is going to end up being very expensive. I think in both of these collections, you have a covert op that is not very cool. People don't really like it. It's not really driving demand. It's not really driving trade ups. It's not really driving, people eating it up and stuff like that. So I don't know. I would stay away from both these collections. I don't imagine that I'm going to end up investing in either of these collections very much. Again, if I was going to invest in train, maybe the bottom tier filler skins, maybe some Tech 9 whiteouts. But when you just have better stuff in the Armory right now, why would I be going this direction? I don't really know. Now, getting up into the B tier, this is stuff that I'm more interested in. This is stuff that I'm, more likely to be investing in at these points. I'm probably going to start going with the charms here. Charms are interesting to me. Missing link charms, I think, have less potential than the small arms charms. Missing link charms, I do think there are a couple cool ones. I do really like the Diamond Dog. I do really like the Hot Howl. Other than that, I think a lot of the missing link charms are pretty ugly. I think they, don't really go with that many crafts. They're not like, stuff that people are really going to have high demand for. Also for charms, we didn't get any charms removed, which means we're going to have charms in the Armory for a long time. Now, yes, there are 4 charm collections going on right now, which is good. That means the demand and the supply is going to be split up between all 4 of them. But we don't know when the charms are going to be removed. We don't know how long they're going to be in there for. We don't know what the supplies are going to be. Again, they're a non-consumable item at the same time as well. So to me, missing link is not as exciting. I would definitely be going for the small arm charms over that. I think, semi-precious is very cool. I think the diecast AK is very cool. I even think there's some lower tier stuff like the whittle knife or the AK. I don't know if it's called like baby's AK or whatever, but there are some charms that are more weaponized that I think go on some skins and go on some crafts, and I could see people usually, actually using. And I do think charms have come a long way. I think when charms first came out, I thought they were a little silly, a little goofy. I kind of thought some of them were cool, but now I see a lot of people actually using them. I do see them as a big part of crafts. I see them as, a part of the future of CS. I do think people will continue to want them and use them. I think especially, there's going to be expensive ones that are, certain colors or certain patterns or certain template numbers or whatever. But overall, I think the charms are going to be very, very interesting because yes, they're going to be a discontinued set of items, that we've never seen before in CS. So I don't really know exactly what to do with them. And again, also charms, now that we know Armory collections are going to go discontinued, we're seeing charm prices increase, even though none of them are going discontinued, which is bad. But the fact that you can still redeem them for Armory stars, means they can't really be increasing the price too much on them. So I think it's kind of a good thing. I don't know. I own some charms. I don't own an insane amount of charms. Again, I'm not going to say I'm not investing in charms at all, but is it going to be a big investment for me? No, not necessarily. It's not, really where I'm going. But now we're getting into the S and A tier. And in the A tier here, I'm going to be throwing the character craft sticker collection. Obviously, I very, very recently did invest in some character craft stickers, and I think they're a fine investment. I think they're a good investment. I threw like $2,000. It's not, for me, it's not an insanely big position size, but I'm taking a little bit of a lottery ticket on them. Again, another issue with the character craft stickers is the fact that they are pumped up so much right now. We're talking 232% ROIs when you can go get something like Elemental for 143%. And the Elemental craft sticker collection might just be and probably is just a better sticker collection overall. But again, character craft stickers, everything I've seen, if you have good looking stickers with high application rates, the low tier stickers perform very, very, very well. So I bought $2,000 of the low tier stickers in character craft, and I'm expecting that they will be a profitable investment. I'm expecting there will be some nice money to be made. It's maybe going to take some time, I don't know, we'll have to wait and see, but I think 3, 4, 5 years from now, whatever, I'm expecting that those couple of storage units will have some very, very nice price appreciation. But yeah, obviously I would have loved to get these at cheaper overall prices, and it sucks you can't redeem them for 1 star anymore, but still, even at today's prices, I think they're going to be okay. I think they're going to do quite well. Also, in the A tier here, I'm going to have to, unfortunately, I don't know. I almost want to throw the gallery case, but I think I'm going to save the gallery case for the S tier, whatever. I don't know. I'm going to be throwing the Sport and Field collection and the Overpass collection back up into the A tier. For me, they're very, very, very similar. I think there is definitely going to be some money to be made. Now, am I going to be buying the Fade? Am I going to be buying the Be the Monster? No. Again, for me, from what I've seen, the money is in the lower tier skins. Again, especially with the Fade and the Be the Monster, these are coverts where they've been in the Armory for like a year plus now. We don't even know when they're going to be removed. These are going to be some pretty high supply skins. Now, the player base is higher than it's ever been. People are spending money on skins and have, crazier loadouts than they've ever had and all that stuff. I get it, but still, and maybe there is some money to be made on the Fade and Be the Monster. I'm not saying if you invest in that stuff, you're going to lose money or anything like that. CS goes up, skin prices go up, whatever, especially discontinued items and discontinued collections and stuff like that. But I do think that more money will be made in all of the skins and all of the tiers below, whether it be pinks or, blues or low rarity or whatever, the purples. Obviously, again, from what I've seen, the lowest tier field tested skins do the best, especially in collections that have high demand, especially in collections that, there's some money to be made. So yeah, I don't know. And obviously a lot of these skins, you can buy them for below the value of the stars. So this is not collections where I would necessarily recommend redeeming your stars for. If you're going to be redeeming your stars, get charms, get stickers, whatever, elemental stickers, small arms charms. Like, you should be going for stuff like that. But for these, if you want to buy some of these lower tier skins at market prices, I definitely think you're going to be able to make some money here. I love that these both these collections seem to be so popular. I think people are going to be doing trade ups for these skins for a long time. I think these are skins that are good enough to have some longevity and be cool a couple years from now. So I'm definitely looking out for those. And now, getting into the S tier, obviously there's no spoilers or anything here. What we have left is going to be in the S tier. Now, again, I know I said I was a little bit worried about Gallery, that, I didn't know if it should be A tier, S tier, whatever, but it's a discontinued case. The bad thing about Gallery is that the prices have already started pumping so high so fast. Again, Gallery, you could redeem it for 80 cents, and it's now like $2. That is crazy. People who are investing in Gallery, before we knew whether it was going to be removed or not, I've been saying since day one of the Armory that I thought all this stuff was going to be removed. So I had a couple thousand Gallery cases. I made so much money so fast. I made too much money too fast, because I would have loved to have more time to be buying these up at cheaper and cheaper prices. Now, if the Gallery ever dips, if Gallery gets close to $1.50, if Gallery gets close to $1, whatever, I'm going to be loading up once again, because discontinued cases are an insane investment. They're, the S plus tier, S plus Z tier investment of the CS2 world. So the Gallery case is money. Now, obviously, getting it closer to $2 is much worse than getting it close to $1, but still, I think 3, 4, 5 years from now, Gallery case is like an easy $5 case, whatever. We'll have to see where it goes from here. I know people are worried about the Kukri knives, people are worried about the skins inside of it, whatever. I'm not. Give me discontinued cases all day. Now, again, you also have the Fever case, which has unprecedented unboxing numbers, and also you can get for 80 cents at any time for your stars in the Armory. An 80-cent redemption for the Fever case in the Armory will always be a good investment, will always be a good redemption, no matter what. And then also we have the Elemental sticker collection as well. Again, it did not get removed. It's the one staying in the Armory because it's the one with higher demand. It's the one that's getting more redemptions. It's the one that's making Valve more money. And yes, more redemptions means higher supply, which is not good, but more demand, more applicability, more stuff like that means that once the sticker set gets continued, the supply numbers are going to be getting eaten into faster. So once again, everything I've seen shows that the cheapest stickers, the lowest stickers, all the stuff like that is the way to go, that those are the big time investments. So right now, I think, redeeming Elemental stickers and just holding on to whatever you get is going to end up being a very, very profitable investment going forward in the future. Yes, prices are starting to pump, but again, the fact that you can still redeem some of this stuff for their actual star value in the Armory is money. That's a great thing. And overall, here is my ultimate, CS Armory as of October 2025 investment tier list. I love that it came out with actually like some even rows and stuff like that. I could have moved stuff up. We could have made the bell curve. We could have moved stuff around. I don't know. Like I said, this is just off the top of my head. This is just my gut feeling on the things that I would be most likely to invest into right now. And if I look ahead, 3, 4, 5 years, what I think is going to give you the best returns on your money if you invested it right now today. These are definitely the things that I would be the most likely to invest in. You give me $1,000 right now, I would put my money in stuff probably in an order very, very close to, if not this exact order. And yeah, the stuff in C tier and below, I'd probably be staying away from. The stuff in B tier and above, I think, is actually maybe worth, taking a flyer on and putting some money into, but we'll have to wait and see. I don't know. This is going to stay on the internet forever. We'll have to say if it ages well, if it ages poorly. I don't know. And like I said, I'd also love to hear your guys' thoughts and opinions as well. What do you think I got right? What do you think I got wrong? What does your tier list look like? Let me know. Pretty much for this video today, guys. Hopefully I catch you in the next one. Until then, peace.